Okay. Janet Allen in this week's 5 Insane Right-Wing Moments. She's commenting right at the beginning on the fact that Sarah Palin has become, for some reason, she's become Donald Trump's dog. And she runs around, not wagging her tail and barking, but she runs around to these rallies, lifting her leg and pissing on everything that is rational and real in America. For example, she came out, I think it was last week, and told Californians that the drought that they've been experiencing for several years really doesn't exist. Oh, Jesus Christ. It doesn't exist. Anyway, she's been making the rounds for Trump last week, warming up the crowd, spewing what can only be described as some of the most moronic batshit the world has ever heard, with the possible exception of stuff that Trump himself says. But as Janet puts it, here are 5 absurdly evil moments from the rightward flank this week. Number 1, Sarah Palin says a series of let me start over. Number 1, Sarah Palin says a series of insane things, so vote for her boy Trump. She showed up in San Diego to give a series of bizarre and borderline incoherent speeches on behalf of Trump. And these speeches, she dubbed Trump the Golden Wrecking Ball, which Palin apparently thinks is a compliment, a good thing. And as only she can, Palin said Trump is now we the people's nominee. We the people's nominee. Yeehaw. And to drive her point home, she added, suck it up, Cupcake. But never told anybody who Cupcake might be. That's the way Palin talks, though. The only difference between a soccer mom and a pig is lipstick, or something like. No, not a pig. What was it? A pimple? Pit bull. Thank you. Kathy doesn't give a shit. I'm sorry. I don't mean to disturb you. I realize you're doing very busy stuff in there. Suck it up, Cupcake. Yeah, it's one of those moments where Palin stands in front of a crowd, and I don't understand why she stands in front of anything except maybe a firing squad, but she stands in front of a crowd, and for the first 5 minutes they hoot and holler and cheer, and then they realize that they've got a goddamn psychopath up there, and then they start to give it more like this. And they start looking around for the exits, because obviously the woman up there at the podium or whatever is out of her mind. She's insane. Anyway, here's what she said about Trump in San Diego last week. Quote, Trump came roaring in through this primary, and he blew the lid off the corrupted and corroded machine. He was like a golden wrecking ball. He wrecked what needed to be wrecked in order to shine light on the shenanigans, in order to allow us to rebuild, because, see, Trump builds things. He builds big things. And with optimism and with common sense, he solves problems. There was more. And I can almost not believe this, but I'll believe it because it comes from Janet Allen. The morning crew on Morning Joe, they played that. I guess they played it last week. And the folks on Morning Joe wondered out loud if Palin had taken, quote, some bad acid, end quote. I mean, what is the difference between her now and her when she was McCain's running mate? There's no difference. She's maybe a little crazier, but and Janet puts it this way, proving once again that she is not merely laughable but deeply disgusting. In another speech in San Diego, warming up for Trump, Palin criticized Obama for going to Hiroshima calling his visit an apology lap. She said, she bellowed, "You mess with our freedom, we'll put a boot in your ass. It's the American way." And of course that got the crowd chanting, "USA, USA, USA." Oh, please shut the fuck up, Sarah Palin. I mean, seriously. Just shut up. Where did she come from? Christ. Number 2. Oh, it was Trump that said this. He takes denial of reality to a new level. Trump told Californians, "There's no drought." There's no drought out here. His logic is there's no drought because I say there's no drought, which is how a Mussolini or a Hitler or a Big Brother mind works. There's no drought. If there's a water problem, he continued, it's because someone, are you ready? Closed the water. Closed the water. They closed it. Someone closed your water out here. We're going to solve your water problem. You have a water problem that is so insane. How will Trump solve this insane problem? Very, very simply. He'll turn the water on. He said, quote, "If I win, believe me, we're going to start opening up the water so that you can have your farmers survive." And with that, he gained thousands of more votes. You have a water problem that is so insane, he said, and we're going to solve it. We're going to open up the water. God! Oh my God, it's not funny. It's not. It's mega tragic. It is not funny. It's sick. Number 3. The indicted pharma asshole Martin Shkreli had a little Twitter argument with himself this week about Trump. In one tweet, he endorsed Brother Donald, and Shkreli said, quote, "All you people who don't like Trump are jealous, stupid, and poor. Don't make me laugh." Wouldn't you like to beat the hell out of this guy? I mean, come on. You know you would. You know you would. I know I would. And I know you would too. So after that little pearl of wisdom, this, what does Janet call him? A human mound of toe jam. He said this. Okay, what do I know about politics? How could I be in a position to give a meaningful endorsement to anyone? I'm an investor entrepreneur. Right. And just so there's no doubt, he's an investor entrepreneur who's been indicted for securities fraud. So let's just keep the record straight there. And Janet writes, after a few more incoherent admissions that he knows nothing about politics, but boy, can he pick stocks, Shkreli began to feel sorry for himself. The ensuing tweet storm to his Trump endorsement, quote, "makes me want to quit the internet. Goodbye, cruel e-world. It is too dangerous." You know, he's gotten a bunch of pushback from people who said, "You're out of your goddamn mind." Can anyone make heads or tails out of this walking personality disorder? Yeah, right. They're all over the place, Janet. Jesus Christ.